Good afternoon, Vanessa. Thank you for having us here at Carlos Ishikawa, your gallery in London. We are here to talk about Condo and off to Milan at the same time. So, the first question, as you may imagine, is how it all started. I mean, the Condo project.
Condo started from a mixture of frustration with this proliferation of art fair culture, because although I think that art fairs are really important, I think there's too many of them, and everything that entails. So the way that it affects how exhibitions are put together, the types of conversations gallerists will have with their artists, what kind of work they end up showing, and how the audience ends up engaging with that work. I felt that art fairs and blogs, they're all great, but they really encourage this like super fast way of looking at everything, and I wanted to propose a project that brings back a culture of like going to the gallery space and not just like walking down a corridor, like having more conversations, being more experimental because you can afford to be more experimental. So it was really like that, yeah.
And what was the reaction of the gallerists you proposed the project? The first reaction?
I think it was really positive. It's something that, every time that galleries came together, they'd be complaining about the same things. So people seemed very much on board to like try out a new model. Yeah.
And what was the reaction of the public to this project?
Well, the first time we did it was in London, and I very specifically chose like the quietest time of year, which is January. So everyone's coming back from Christmas, there's nothing going on, and everyone was so excited because it felt like almost like a street festival, so it just brought like energy to the city at a time of year when there isn't any.
Okay. And what were the major challenges in organizing all the events and the all projects?
The key thing for me about Condo is that it's not for profit, so I don't charge my colleagues to take part in it. We just share the cost of like the party and the printing of the maps and the website. So it's actually quite a bit of labor to be doing for free, but I think that's important to the project that be the case. The other challenge, of course, is that it's not a project that can be scaled up without losing its quality. So it's hard when more galleries want to take part, and I can't include them because, if Condo becomes, instead of like 10 venues, it becomes like 50 venues, then visitors start picking and choosing which ones to go to, and that's the problem. I think that by keeping it small, your mailing list cross-pollinate, so maybe people who only come to my space but never go to yours might go to yours and vice versa, and that's really valuable. So that's another challenge, I think, is that it's limited in scale.
Okay, so now what is the future for Condo project?
Condo, the future is, we have one, ideally over 4 or 5 like geographic areas. So we're doing London, then North America's New York, sort of Central South America is going to be Mexico City, Asia will be Shanghai. We may do one in the Middle East, but I'm not sure yet. And I really want to keep it to just those 4 or 5. And then, yeah, I think that's the future of it. Again, it can't grow that much, otherwise it'll become something that happens, again, 50 times a year, and nobody wants that.
Okay, and what do you think about the Condo version of your project in Milan? Do you know Milan as a contemporary art city?
Yeah, I've done a fair in Milan at least 3 or 4 times, and it's an amazing city. People like going there. You have a very vibrant art scene. We've had many other cities that are in a similar position where there's a lot going on and they just want something else to add some kind of momentum to it, and like Warsaw is going to do something similar. But because obviously I can't do like endless condos, then I always encourage cities to develop their own model based on the condo model. And we're having that next year. So Warsaw is doing one. I forgot there's another city that's doing one, but I think Barcelona wanted to do one. So I think, Milan, if the galleries want to do something that has that same structure to it, then I'm sure there's room for it. I mean...
Okay. I have a few questions for you, which have been prepared by Lia. She's independent curator in Milan. She's going to be chairing the conversation we will have in Turin in a couple of days. So, as you're talking about galleries, let me just ask you to list three features, three characteristics you could consider as fundamental for a gallery to apply for a condo project in Milan.
Number one for me with condo is always that you want to invite people that have the same like ethics or same philosophy, people who believe in acting collectively. That's really important. Number two, obviously you want good art. And number three, I would always try and include galleries from very varied geographic locations and galleries that are interested in participating in an international conversation rather than a sort of provincial localized one.
Okay, I have a last question for you, taken from the Geneva questions. And describing Condo as a project, it has been used as adjective, the word sustainable. Could you please explain its real meaning for you?
For me, its real meaning lies more in generosity and collectivism and collaboration. I think sustainable comes from the idea of being able to show your artists internationally without the exorbitant costs of an art fair. But that doesn't make a gallery model sustainable. Like there's many problems with the way we currently run galleries which make them unsustainable. I think it facilitates that, but for me, that's not quite it makes it more sustainable, but it doesn't make it sustainable. I think for me, it's more, Condo's more about, collectivism and collaboration and generosity and,
Okay. Well, wish us good luck.
Yeah,
then,
good luck.
And see you in Milan soon.
Yeah,
okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you.